A lot of talk about. We've talked a little bit about this like ratings stuff before, right?
Yeah.
Should WWE worry about their TV product?
Like what they put on TV every week?
Yes. Should they attempt to make it like really good, or should they just kind of make it bare bones, like exactly what it needs to be?
It doesn't have to always week after week be fantastic. It doesn't have to be 10 out of 10 every week because that's impossible. When you're making a show 52 times a week, no show other than like live WWE goes 52 times a week like this, where you need to keep making a storyline. So you don't always have to make 10 out of 10 stuff, but everything should at least be consistently 7 or 8 out of 10. But also you need to cut things down because you can't always have your best stuff on TV because there's no reason to have people sign up for your WWE network or buy pay-per-views. So you always do want to save the best stuff for that. That's what comes to mind personally is whenever Goldberg first won the title in WCW back in the day, they had him main event WCW Nitro against Hulk Hogan in the Georgia Dome, which is a football field. They had a Nitro in a football field. You know, they have football fields at Wrestle fucking Mania, but whatever. They wasted a pay-per-view moment where they could have had a sold out. Tons of people would have bought it. Seeing Goldberg go for the world title, you knew he was going to win it because he never loses. At the Georgia Dome, where he used to play football in his home and they had it on Nitro. Like you don't always want to waste your great big TV moments when you put it on a pay-per-view. So it needs to be the best it can be while also saving. It should set up for pay-per-views. That's what TV should do. That's where storylines progress. That's where you have moments, or it's where you have promos, and it at least needs to be. It needs to be serviceable. It needs to do what it needs to do, but also be at least consistently pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
When there's 5 hours a week, though, it's hard to always make stuff that is consistently for that entire 5 hours interesting because not everyone is going to be interested in every character and what's going on. And it's just something, you have to admit it. It's just not everyone's always interested. So,
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Do you think
that
it
at least needs to be good, pretty good.
Right. Do you think that the quality of their show directly affects their ratings?
See, I always thought about this, and it's like the ratings for Raw. Sometimes it's like what else is on TV that night. If you got NBA Finals, of course you're going to be. If you got Monday Night Football, of course that's good. People are going to watch that too. It depends on what their competition is, and there's some stuff where they literally just won't try after that because they know people are going to watch the NBA Finals and watch the Warriors win instead of watching, Roman Reigns do the same old. But I forgot what your question was.
Do you think the quality of their show?
Oh, quality is directly. Probably to an extent because are you talking about this era right now? Because you could say
I'm talking about this
the highest quality of wrestling, the best wrestling has ever been is almost not arguable. It's the Attitude Era, and that's when their ratings were the highest. Like that's when they were putting on really good TV. Everyone was watching it because they had great characters and great storylines for the most part. But if we're talking about this era, I don't know because there are some people who just can't catch it like me, and there's some people who watch it or don't watch it regardless of quality. But I think it depends how good TV was the week before too, because if something was good the week before, people are probably more likely to tune in. So that means if you have a good week that week, you're going to have people tune in the next week. So things do directly attribute to each other as far as quality goes. Because if something like really big happened and they said, oh, next week we're going to have a women's Money in the Bank match, and you had a really good setup for it, and you said on TV there's going to be a women's Money in the Bank match, you're going to have people watching it. So last week I had good TV, so I imagine the ratings are probably pretty good this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
were they?
They were about the same as they were last week, a little bit less.
And last week they were above average, so that's good.
Yeah. I think the LeVar Ball segment was the most viewed segment of the show. So.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, if TV's better, people are going to stay tuned. But I don't think it gets a huge bump if it's better. I think it gets a moderate bump if it's better, but not a huge bump.
Yeah, I think it's unavoidable that it's gonna the ratings are gonna go down. Because if you look at where we were the same time last year, what was happening last year? Yeah, okay, well let's say 2 years ago.
The brand split.
2 years ago, 1.5 about when Seth Rollins was and the Authority were on top. Raw wasn't that great. We got 6-man tags as the main event every single show.
Kane, Big Show, Seth Rollins.
Yep. Corporate Kane in every single match ever. Roman Reigns, still rising up. Raw was not good. Raw was worse than it is right now. And ratings were much better than they are at this point. So I don't really know what to say about that. It's hard to dissect.
I do think it has something to do with it. I'm not always sure how much, obviously, but
something, yeah.
Definitely something. But not like. I do think if they make better TV, more people are going to watch, but I don't think it always has something to do with it. So yeah, there's that. That's basically They can't always make the best TV, and I think people know that. I think they've low-key admitted that too. Wrestlers have, I'm not sure writers have, but wrestlers have, like on WWE Network, like admitted that stuff. They're like, oh man, you're making show week in and week out. Some stuff you're going to throw at the wall and it won't stick. And yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much what I had to say about all that. I just thought it was an interesting question to pose.
I agree with you. Do you agree about that? Do you think better TV?
I think that a lot of it is unavoidable, but I do think there's, you might as well, if TV is going to become a thing of the past one day, I still think that it's worth it to still try and to make an entertaining show that people still want to, keep their cable subscriptions for.
Yeah, it's a good point, fair point. I think people are not going to get rid of cable because of Raw. I think they'll just be like, oh, Raw, whatever.
And we're in the day and age where matches like Roman Reigns and The Undertaker are getting announced over social media,
Yeah.
It's a completely different time.
I think the conversation of TV and WWE is not going anywhere. People are going to be talking about how important or not important TV is for wrestling for a long time because it's becoming less and less relevant. I at least feel. Sometimes it's not, because we literally did have a freaking Money in the Bank match on TV this week, which is a big deal. But sometimes also, you have stuff that just doesn't matter, and you could watch pay-per-view to pay-per-view. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting question, though. I'll ask the question next week. I like how we're doing this little end the show with a little conversation.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We still need to set up for our watch a pay-per-view show. We'll potentially be doing that this weekend. Hopefully, maybe. We'll just have to see. I want that to come to fruition. Mm-hmm. So that was this week. Make sure you watch us listen to us on Google Play, iTunes. We got all that set up for you. Next week we'll be talking about predictions for Great Balls of Fire, talking about whatever shenanigans they do to set up that pay-per-view, and whatever happens on SmackDown next week. I'm really tired, so if I seem tired throughout this, it's because I'm tired. You guys have yourselves a good one.
See ya.